What is up, everybody? It is Chris, aka Noristo Premium. Guys, today I wanted to come in and give you another levels video. I would like to make this a frequent thing. So if you rock with it and you want to rock with us, then keep on tuning in. But look, today, what happened? We had the FOMC, right? We had Chairman Powell come out, okay? And whether he was hawkish or dovish, he's got a 25 basis point rate hike. They're looking to do 7 throughout the year and no balance sheet reduction until future meetings. So as of right now, apparently the market thinks that that is dovish. Okay. But initially, like we said, usually there's going to be a fake out, right? So this was classic, right? I mean, just an absolute crater, got everybody to buy puts, buy puts, buy puts, buy puts, buy puts. Then we got to 426. Do we remember how 426 was a major support level? We do. So we should have known when we saw this next boner candle and 3 continuing candles to get higher that we were definitely going to rip higher. Okay. And we knew that there was going to be a trap somewhere. Okay. And there it was. Right. And there it was. Okay. So that's what happened today. Now, look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the market thought that that was aggressive. If it wasn't, it doesn't matter. Did you trade what was in front of you? Did you trade this huge candle to the downside, see that we're at major support, and then let it rip back up higher? Okay, that was a trade. And I think this morning somebody called out puts here. As you guys know, I don't like to trade. Really, whenever Powell speaks, and I know the market's gonna be leading up to it. Just me personally, though, it doesn't mean you don't have to trade either. Doesn't mean you do have to trade. Doesn't mean anything. I'm just telling you how I like to trade. Okay. So that's what happened. We saw huge support, huge resistance here. And I'm pretty sure Trell took puts. And look, I mean, you went from 433 down to 426. So somewhere in there, you could have taken the puts, and then we knew the rip higher. All right. So I told you guys my short trade, if we close above 428, then I'm likely going to be out. We closed above 428, so I was out. Okay. Only trade I've had in 2 weeks. I'm looking to get right back into the swing of things tomorrow, and I'll be here on live nice and early. So I'm very excited to get that going with you guys. But now I want to give you guys some levels. All right. Let's zoom out. Let's just zoom out here for a second. Okay. Let's forget about that goddamn Head and Shoulders that everyone keeps talking about, because it really doesn't matter anymore. All right. What does matter is this. Okay. What do we have here on the weekly chart? Okay. What do we have here? Well, we saw that we went to go meet this 8 EMA pretty much, which is sitting right here at 436.94. Today's high, I guess, was 435.68. So we're en route to there, but we're also on this down trend line, okay, that we went to go meet. Okay. You know, we had 2 of them. I drew them on the daily. Okay. We can see them here. Basically went and met them perfectly. Now, if you remember from my call yesterday, guys, I said what? I said, if, like, is 430 in the cards? Well, we gapped up to that overnight. So it was definitely in the cards, right? And now this downtrend line was the next thing that it was going after, right? So we have the 50-day moving average is 443.42 on the daily chart. On the daily chart. Okay, 443, right? So we got 443 as level. Now let's go to the weekly. What is the weekly telling us? 441. 441.06 is the 50-day moving average on the weekly chart. Okay, so let's not forget that level, guys. Let's not forget that level, okay? So right now, I say the levels to the upside, if we zoom out a tad here, okay, and I want to go to this 4 hour because I think this is noteworthy. Okay, let's go even closer. Okay, perfect. Okay, very nice. Now, this color that I still don't know what to call it yet, blue, whatever. What do we recognize here that has happened ever since the all-time high? So we can go from right here. Fuck it. What's the commonality? After we came back, every time we went up to the 200-day on the 4 hour, we've rejected it. And today was that perfect go up and kiss it and reject. Okay. Now, I'm not saying we're going to crater from here. I'm just saying it's noteworthy to know if we get through this 436.60, which what else is 436? We knew 446. If we zoom out here, right, we saw that there was from this day, we went up and failed it, right? Actually, this is 440. I'm just kidding. Wait, do we have 446? Was it the weekly? Oh yeah, it was the 8 EMA. Sorry. Yep, that's what I wanted. The weekly 8 EMA, 436. That's what I want to talk about. 436. We have the 8 EMA. Guys, remember we play the 8 and 21 EMAs. That's the exponential moving averages. And then we love the 20, 50, and 200 simple moving averages. Okay. So you have to make sure that you zoom out on all charts. Okay. Zoom out on all your charts. Okay. So what do we have? 436. Okay. 436. Okay. The 4-hour 200 day and the weekly 8 EMA. Okay. Both at 436. So is that definitely going to be a level? Very much likely. Okay. And we have to see the high here the weekly chart doesn't count for after hours, right? So this does. And so we went up and met it. I mean, the high was technically 437, but where did it close? It closed 436.75, which is pretty much right on 436.60 is the 200 day. Okay. And we know on the weekly 436 is the 8-day, which happens to be at 436.94. So right there, guys. Okay. We know 436 to the upside has to break, but now let's go to this weekly chart. We have 441 is our next big level of the 50-day on this weekly chart. All right. So if we just go to the daily here, we see where else is 441? It's this candle that rejected, right? So we have 436, 441. 436, 441. Okay. I would say you could throw 438 in there. So tomorrow, depending where we open, I'd say 436, 438, and then I'd say 441. Okay. 441, 443, guys. 436, 438, 441, 443. 436, 438, 441, 443 United States dollars. All right. Get that ingrained in your head. Okay. Over and over and over and over and over again. Good. But I do want to say this. If we do not get through one of these levels, like let's say tomorrow we go up and test this 436, 437 level again, and we don't get through. Okay. And we don't get through, just depending where we open. No idea where we're going to open tomorrow. I mean, we're technically down like 7 points, but that doesn't matter. I'll see where we open in the morning. Okay. Then we know if we fade that, right? If we come off and fade that, then we're definitely going to be coming down to 430. Okay. I would think we come down to 430. Okay. Now, what I would be looking for here as a possibility of tomorrow, if we go to find some support, okay, around the 430 mark. Okay, do we see how this 430 mark was resistance a couple times? Then it opened there, tested it, and went higher. So could that be a back test and rip? Possibly. Okay, possibly. So I'm still looking at, I want 430, 428, and 426 to hold if I'm bullish tomorrow. That's if you're bullish. We don't even have to talk in terms of bullish and bearish. Support is 430, 428, 426, 421, 416. Boom. That's it. Simple. Super simple. Okay. And 416 is just insanely massive. Okay. We know that. I mean, I said it on the call. I said the bounce off this was 14 points. The bounce off here is now, we went from 416 to 430. It's 20 points in 2 days. Okay. 20 points in 2 days. So now it's here, guys. We have, I'd say 430 because it would want to hold the 20-day, right? You guys see the 20-day on this daily chart. Could that become support? Typically, when you make levels higher, which once was resistance, comes support. Okay. And that's how you know you're going to leg higher. So today, what we had at resistance was 430. We ripped higher of it this morning, and then we reclaimed it and went higher. Okay. So now we have 426, 428, and 430 as support until they're not, right? Until they're not. So just know that and understand that. So the levels to the downside would still be 430, 426, 416. Okay. 430, 426, 416. 420 would be a level in there. You could look for it as well. So we could do 430, 426, 420, 416, 410, 403. Okay. Very, very, oopsie, very, 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 very simple, guys. I think somebody was asking, like, how do you get your levels? I'm like, well, we explain it on every call. So it's good to ask questions, guys. But if you know, we have a full YouTube library where we go over and we get our levels the exact same way. Okay. It's a combination of huge support and resistance mixed in with the MAs. Okay. Moving averages are like magnets, as always. If you notice, the further down we get away from one of them, we usually slingshot back into it. Okay. We got above it. We came back to it. We broke below it. We came back to it. Okay. We broke below it. We came back to it, especially the 20-day moving average. Okay. Especially the 20-day moving average. So, guys, upside 436, 438, 441, 443. Okay. Downside, we have 430, 426, 420, 416. Now, it is quad witching week. So if someone's going to ask me, what do we think is going to happen tomorrow? I don't fucking know what's going to happen. Okay. That's the God honest truth. And that's what we all have to think. That's what we all have to think. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. But the only way you should trade tomorrow is legitimately having so much patience to wait until 430 shows support. Okay. We break today's highs. Okay. We break today's highs. Okay. Or 438, 440 show us resistance. Okay. So you'll want to take calls off support and you'll want to take puts off resistance, and you want to be patient, guys. If let's say our levels are so big, right? We're like, okay, 436, 441, like those are the two major levels we're gonna be looking at. Okay. And then we're like 430. If we open at 433, we're 3 points each way till major support or resistance. You better sit on your goddamn hands and not do a goddamn thing, because trying to take calls or puts out of the get-go, okay, is not it. That's a guessing game. You don't want a guessing game. Not in a quad witching week. Okay. Definitely not in a quad witching week, or really ever. But if you were super patient, right? Like, you could have just waited and knew, like, I know this 415 is major support, right? And you knew if we tested it again and it held, that we were going to rip higher. So you could have taken calls here. Okay. So you could have taken calls here, but you would have had to be patient. That's the hardest part of trading, is being patient. Just because you're sitting in front of your computer screen and watching every tick happen doesn't mean you need to be in a trade. Okay. That's the one thing that we're trying to get through everybody's head. Do less. Be patient. Okay. But look, we also have this major downtrend being respected. Okay. It's being respected. So tomorrow, let's say we open at 336, 333 or 433, right? Right in the middle. 433. I'm just making shit up. I have no idea where we're going to open, but let's say we go ahead, open at 433, and we rip up to 435, 436 right away. Right? Right away. But we can't get through it. Okay. We can't get through it. Well, now we're going to be this is resistance now, because this is where we closed today. This is where we ended today. Okay. So we will want to see what happens there. Okay. And if we see other stocks like Apple and Microsoft start to come down, then we know we're going to be trading puts on SPY. Or if we rip down to support and bounce off of 430, then we're going to take calls there, but we're going to be patient about it. Okay. But I still think tomorrow's action is going to be very telling, because this is a downtrend line that has been respected very well. Right. The downtrend line has been respected very well. So let's see what happens tomorrow. But other than that, guys, be fucking patient. Do fucking less. Okay. We cannot get through your heads enough. Okay. Be patient and do less. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and I will see y'all in the Discord. Have a good night.